boxing fans in Mexico will always support me.
What's next?
It's that tour after this. I got one interview.
What
I
are
know
my
the Mexican
interviews
boxer
here?
that you fight him and beat him. What do you say for all that?
Oh, nothing personal. It's our job.
And what time you watch this?
A quarter to
Entertain people.
And it's what time?
Are you going to be president of Philippines?
Yeah, well,
Never know, but I don't have that in my mind right now. What I have is camera cinema.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, Manny.
Hi, Manny. Hi, Manny.
Hindi pala kayo?
Hi, Manny. Why did you decide this fight as your last fight? Why did you go to this thing?
I decided to have this last fight because I've been in boxing more than 25 years. So it's been a long time. So, and I have another great responsibility, big responsibility in my country, helping people. And good things happened that I entered to boxing to help my mother, my family, and I end my career to help the country. So
how difficult of a decision was it to make to announce your retirement?
it's it's difficult, but it's not all the time you're in the prime. Not all the time you're in that level. I'm getting old, and I have to give a chance to other fighters to give a name in boxing. And of course, it feels sad, but that's reality.
Why did you decide Team Tim Bradley?
I decided to fight Tim Bradley again because with our two fights, there's a lot of questions and doubt from the fans. So I decided to have a third fight to answer those questions. And of course, I believe that he can bring more action in the ring because we saw in his last fight that he improved a lot.
What can the fans expect on April 9th then?
More action in the ring, better than the last two fights that we had.
Ngayon po, sorry. Ngayon po ba, ano yung mga kailangan yung pagtuunan sa ring dito kay Bradley? Pangatlong fight na.
Focus, kailangan matinding training ang gagawin natin para manalo. Yan ang ano natin bago matapos yung last fight natin, manalo tayo.
Ano po bang goal? Knockout?
Ayaw natin mag-predict ng knockout. Ayaw natin predict, but gusto kong manalo ng
Decisive.
yes, convincingly.
Last,
Na mag-in yung career ko ng panalo.
last po, message po sa Filipino fans.
Maraming salamat sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan sa walang sawang pagsuporta. Sa buong karir ko, nandiyan ka sa likod, nakasuporta. Nakakalungkot. Yung baga, sad to say na magre-retiro na ako, pero ako'y napakalaking karangalan ko, honor na lagi kayo nakasuporta buong sa bayan ng Pilipino. Milyon-milyon mga Pilipino na suporta sa likod ko. Nagdarasal para sa karangalan ng ating bansa. Masaya ako dahil nandiyan kayo palagi. Kayo ang isa sa mga nagbigay ng inspirasyon, nagbigay ng lakas sa akin for sa Panginoon. Salamat.
Thank you.
Manny, Freddie said that you just told him 4 days ago that you were going to retire. What made you decide to come to that decision?
I decided to retire because I've been in boxing more than 25 years. And then second is I have another big responsibility in my country. And I'm happy for doing that, helping the people. And I remember that when I entered to boxing, I know boxing because I went to help my mother, my family. And now I end my boxing just because I want to help the country.
Did the result of the Mayweather fight or your injury play a factor in you deciding that this will be your last fight?
It's not the last fight with Mayweather, or it's not about my injury. In fact, the operation and my shoulder is healed 100%, and I can fight. And I just want That's why I have a last fight before I retire, because I want to prove to the people that to end my career and as a winner. And, I want to win my last fight.
Do you have to change any of your technique or your thought process going into this last fight because of the injury?
No, same routine, same strategy, same style. But what we are going to do is focus on speed and power, training more head movement.
What will you miss most about boxing?
Of course, I will miss like this restore and also hard training camp and fight.
Great, thank you, Manny.
Manny, after all your accomplishments in the sport, can you point to one particular highlight that really stands out for you?
The
Your peak achievement in the sport?
The peak achievement in sport is when I won 8 different title belts. So, and that's my greatest achievements in boxing. But the most important thing is it's not what I have done. It's what it's about how I treat each other, how I communicate each other, how I'm especially my relationship to my God.
How do these 3 fights against Bradley compare to your 4 fights with Marquez and the history behind it?
Compare for this fight with Bradley, I believe we can do more action now compared to the last 2 fights and other fights that I had, because we know Bradley is improved fighter. We saw that in his last fight. He's more aggressive now than before. So I think there's going to be more action in the ring.
How do these 3 fights against him compare to your 4 fights with Marquez, like the history behind it?
I'm sure that people will be happy for this fight.
Manny, huling laban mo, ano yung gusto mo ipakita sa laban na ito?
Gusto kong manalo sa huling laban, na may panalo yung huling fight bago magpitero. At salamat sa lahat ng suporta ng ating mga kababayan, ating pagmamahal. Mula noon hanggang ngayon, nandyan sa likod ko, nakasuporta kayo. Maraming salamat mga kababayan sa walang sawang pagsuporta. Lahat ng tagumpay na yan ay hindi lang para sa akin, hindi para sa ating lahat.
Bilang huling laban, ano yung legacy na gusto mong iwanan?
Ang legacy na maiwanan ko is hindi lang sa pagiging champion sa taas ng ring, kundi pagiging champion outside the ring. How you treat each other, paano mo i-promote yung love one another in unity, and of course yung relationship to the Lord.
And syempre gusto mong mag-run for Senate, di ba? So gaano ka-importante na hindi ka na lumalaban ng boxing para ipagpatuloy public service mo sa mga kababayan natin bilang isang senador?
When I start boxing, simula ako, I just want to help my mother, my family, na matulungan ko sila. And then magandang nangyayari because mag-i-in yung career ko na dahil gusto kong tumulong sa ating mga kababayan, sa mga tao. And I believe I will accomplish that.
Thank you.
Hi, Manny. This is your last fight. Would you like any of your children to follow in your footsteps?
Do you like or
Any of your children to follow in your footsteps?
to all the children, boxers who want to follow my footsteps, I encourage them to have relationship to the Lord, to God, and of course focus,
Yes.
discipline, hard work, determination. That's the most important thing.
Thank you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Manny.
When you stepped first at the ring, did you thought that you will get so many accomplishments?
Excuse me?
When you stepped for the first time in the ring, did you thought that you will get so many accomplishments as you did?
What I have done in boxing, accomplished, I'm already satisfied, and that's beyond of my expectation, beyond of my imagination when I start boxing, when I start fighting. So I'm so happy and satisfied with what I have done, and I'm so blessed by God. Thank
Manny,
you.
his first boxing right here. Back in the Philippines, are you opening any more boxing gyms, anything like that over there for the youth?
Yes, I have couple gyms in the Philippines, and I have I have boxers in the Philippines. I support boxing in the Philippines. Not only in the Philippines, but we open boxing gym in China also.
We know Manny Pacquiao, MP, promotions is the future for you. I mean, would you be able to train fighters? Is that something you want to do, or you just want to be a promoter in the future and in politics?
Promote and help boxers.
Tell us a little about your charities, Manny. Are you still, what kind of work you're doing? What's close and dear to your heart? Some of the charities you're involved in.
If we're talking about charities, I did a lot in the Philippines, but I don't want to boast myself. The most important that we did is giving them shelter, house and lot for the family. It's free. They don't need to pay. They just what they need is to stay and they can have the land and the house.
Hey, Manny. Manny, what's the magnitude of this fight? How big is this fight for you?
This I consider this fight is an important fight in my life because this is my last fight and I want to win this fight. I want to win my career as winner.
Thank you. Now, when you walk away from boxing, how do you want your fans to remember you as?
I want them to remember me as a good fighter. Not only a good fighter in the ring, but outside the ring, a nice person and also a friendly person.
Thank you.
Manny, you referenced at the day is that you wanted, particularly just to paraphrase you, to go out on a bang, basically, to make this a good fight as your last fight. Was that a shot at Floyd Mayweather and the whole Andre Berto thing of that not being, a great fight? And what makes this such a great fight in comparison?
Good thing that we have a chance to fight with Floyd Mayweather. My last fight and another fight with before I retire with Stephen Bradley. I'm so happy with that.
How important was it for you to fight a pound-for-pound fighter and to not take, so-called easy way out?
How important?
How important was it for you to choose somebody of the caliber of Timothy Bradley as opposed to somebody that people may argue that wasn't of caliber for you to go out on your last fight, like you said?
No, I never understood it. Timothy Bradley, he's a world champion. He's a good fighter. So we cannot understand it.
Is there one fighter throughout your career who you didn't get to fight? Maybe somebody, like a Paul Williams or somebody like that, somebody who you would have wanted to fight as a fantasy fight that you never got a chance to?
I think I fought him.
You fought everybody you wanted to fight?
Manny, you could have fought anyone before you retired, but you chose Timothy Bradley, which is a difficult opponent. I mean, why Timothy?
I chose Timothy because he's a very competitive fighter. And our last two fights have a lot of questions in the fans. So we will answer this
Manny,
2 more minutes, guys.
a couple last words for fans around the world and in Poland. A couple last words.
Message?
A couple last words for fans around the world and in Poland.
Oh, Poland, thank you to all your support in boxing. Thank you to all the fans. Please watch this fight in April 9. It's going to be a good fight, the last fight. Thank you.
Manny, throughout the course of the years, you look back and you've grown into something that's much more than just your average fighter. You've now turned into what kids of all ages and even grown men consider a global icon. To what degree do you owe the sport of boxing for what you've grown into on an even bigger level?
What?
Is the sport of boxing what has developed you into, has it given you the drive to go into politics and do the other things that you've done along the way of your career?
Boxing in politics is different. Boxing is sport and politics is a service. It's a public service.
Manny, at one point
Manny,
in
how's your
time...
shoulders?
Go ahead.
My shoulder is good. 100%.
Okay. Manny, at one point in time, you arguably had the fastest hands in boxing. If you had to objectively put somebody else in that top rank right now, who would you say has the fastest hands in boxing in the weight of your league currently?
Currently, I don't know yet.
Are there any fighters you watch that you can, just throw out there that you think have, the fastest hands in boxing that you can say?
Yeah, there's a lot of fighter, but I think there's Triple G.
Very strong, but you gotta get fast. Also.
He needs to improve his speed.
Manny, how much do you think you're going to miss the sport of boxing? Not just actual matches, but training, all of the hard work.
I'm sure I'm gonna be missing. Being busy in the Philippines, fulfilling my job, performing my job. I think I will forget that.
Being a Christian man,
Last question.
How important was it for you to fight another man of God in your final match?
Fight another with.
Man of God.
Well, it's an honor to fight, and nothing personal. It is our job to entertain the fans, to entertain people.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you.